Hello everyone. In this class, we will learn about what phantom reads are and what serializability means. Phantom read refers to the inconsistency in the number of data records between two queries within a transaction. What is the difference between phantom reads and non-repeatable reads? The similarity is that they both occur during two query processes. The difference is that phantom reads occur when another transaction inserts records, leading to an increase in the number of records. First, let's provide an example to demonstrate the scenario of a phantom read. Now we insert a record in client 1. We insert a record into the account table with the ID number 3. The name is Tom, and the amount is 100 yen. Let's take a look. Now, in the account table, there are a total of 3 records, Mary, Jim, and Tom, and their account balances are all 100 yen. In client 2, we perform another operation to calculate the sum of money. Select some money from account. Now we can see that when we query the total sum of money for the second time within the same transaction, it is 300. The first time we queried, it was 200. This results in a phenomenon known as phantom read. Why? The reason for this is that within a single transaction, the number of records retrieved during the two queries is different, leading to the occurrence of a phantom read. In client 1, after the first query, we inserted a record of Tom. Therefore, during the second query, the total number of records should be 3, and the sum of money is 300. During the first query, there were only 2 records in the account table, resulting in a total sum of 200. This is known as a phantom read. How to avoid phantom reads? The solution is to increase the transaction isolation level, such as raising it to repeatable read. This can help to prevent phantom reads. Let's focus on the steps to avoid phantom reads. Next, let's demonstrate how to avoid phantom reads. First, we execute the query select multiplied by from account to view the current state of the account table, which contains a total of 3 records. Then, we will set the isolation level of client 2 to repeatable read. Using the following command, set session transaction isolation level repeatable read. Next, we start a transaction. We first check the total sum of money. Currently, the total amount is 300 yen. We insert a record into client 1. Insert into account values for Lucy, 100. The ID is 4. The name is Lucy, and the amount is 100 yen. We can see that there are a total of 4 records in the account table. In client 2, we query the total sum of the money field in the account table again. Upon querying again, we observe that within the same transaction, the total sum of the money field in the second query is still 300, which is the same as the result of the first query. This avoids the occurrence of phantom reads. We commit and end this transaction in client 2. At this point, if we query again, the total sum of money is 400, because there are a total of 4 records in the account table, with a sum of 400 yen. Serializability is the highest level of isolation in a transaction. Its characteristic is that it can avoid the problems of dirty reads, non-repeatable reads, and phantom reads. However, because this isolation level locks each data row for reading, avoiding conflicts, it may result in timeouts and lock contention. Therefore, serializability is also the isolation level with lowest performance. Finally, let's take a look at a demonstration of operations using serializable isolation level. Now let's demonstrate serializability. In client 2, Set the isolation level to serializable. Next, client 2 starts a transaction. Start transaction. Then, we query the account balance of Mary in client 2. We can see that it is currently 100 yo. In client 1, we modify Mary's account balance by adding 10 yo. Update account set balance equals balance plus 10 where name equals Mary. Add 10 yo to the money field. After pressing enter, this update statement doesn't execute immediately. The cursor keeps blinking here. Only when I commit in client 2. The update statement in client 1 will execute. Why is that? Because the isolation level in client 2 is set to serializable. Once a transaction is using the serializable isolation level, if the transaction is not committed, which means a transaction is started in client 2, but not yet committed, other sessions can only wait for the current operation to complete before they can perform their operations. This process is time-consuming and can impact the concurrency performance of the database. Therefore, in general, we do not use the serializable isolation level. Short answer questions. 1. Please briefly explain what dirty read, non-repeatable read, and phantom read are. Answer. A dirty read occurs when one transaction reads data that has been modified but not yet committed by another transaction. A non-repeatable read happens when within a transaction, multiple reads of the same data result in different values. A phantom read refers to a situation where within a transaction, the number of rows retrieved by 2 consecutive queries is different. Multiple choice questions select more than one answer choices. First, in MySQL, if the results of multiple queries within a transaction are inconsistent, the possible isolation levels are BD. A. Repeatable read. B. Read uncommitted. C. Serializable. D. Read committed. Above, we have discussed the concepts of phantom reads and serializability. We hope that students have gained a good understanding and mastery of these topics. Thank you all.